family values are a true tribute to the Italian heritage. We are all about family, love, and family. Don't mean we don't fight. We fight. But we love each other to the fullest, and that's the only way we know how to be.
Benvenuti to a new ORIUNDI interview. I found myself at Bedda Ristorante and Pizzette in Pompano Beach, Florida, with Maria Santini and family. Maria, can you please tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you ended up in Florida?
I was born in East Orange, New Jersey. Both my parents were born in Italy. I am first generation Italian here. I was raised in Orange and in West Orange. After being raised in Orange and West Orange, my mother and father made many sacrifices to get the best of the best. I then moved to Nutley, New Jersey, opened a restaurant, had a restaurant for 20 years on Franklin Avenue, which if anybody knows the New Jersey area, the North Jersey area, they would definitely know my restaurant because it was definitely a stopping ground in the old days. We had many celebrities from all over come and visit us, like for the likes of like Connie Francis, which was a New Jersey girl, Frankie Valli, a New Jersey guy, Joe Pesci, a New Jersey, Frankie Vincent, Paul Sorvino, Danny Aiello. I mean, this is just the top of many that used to come. After 9/11, we sold our restaurant and we moved here to Florida. I always worked in the food industry, but never actually opened a restaurant. Being in the food industry and being in the restaurant business, it's always something that you have inside of you that never leaves you. So I got this crazy idea in 2024 to open a restaurant, and here I am with my family alongside me, and that's basically about me. Okay, so that's Brooklyn Bridge. Obviously, it's where we're from originally, coming so close to New Jersey. And then up we see you have a So Blessed, meaning that we're so blessed to be here. And of course we can't forget Don Corleone with the slice of pizza in his hand, because he makes you an offer of a slice you can't refuse. And then what coming down is basically all the mobsters and characters of well-known films, which sometimes we get categorized in that kind of way, but we're not really, but they are part of our roots, of course. And then moving forward, we try to keep the ambiance of an old school mixed with new school Italian. Basically, that's it. This is why everything that's in here, we keep the warmth and the photos of, Taormina, because it's called Bedda Mia. And we're established as a pizzeria and restaurant mostly.
Perfect. Would you mind introducing the rest of your family sitting alongside you?
Of course. This is my granddaughter Giusetta. She's 4 years old. That's my grandson Giovanni. He's 8 years old. And this is my daughter Vittoria.
Great. And Vittoria, how has the restaurant here impacted you and impacted the family, and how do you figure into the equation here?
I actually do the social media for the restaurant here for Bedda Mia. The restaurant actually is a beautiful thing. It reminds me of my mom and my dad's restaurant in New Jersey. Not so much the way the restaurant is, but like the whole perception of it and how everything comes into play, which is also a beautiful thing, because I have my youngest memories were in my parents' restaurant and playing the piano actually and doing so many fun things. Or I even remember folding the tablecloths a certain way, and I'm just so excited that my kids get to experience something like that as a family. Togetherness, it brings people together. It's just a beautiful thing. And then to see my mom, she actually is so amazing with her customers, and this is her niche. So this is something that you could take the, kind of like you could take the girl out of Jersey, but never the Jersey out of the girl. You can take the restaurant out of people, but you can never take it really out of them. They always somehow end up where they're supposed to be.
Started out, with opening business. My mother-in-law and I helping her, she's following her true passion. It's what she's done all of her life. I've been in and out of pizzerias and restaurants most of my life. I learned from her, being by her side, cooking as well, learning the unique dishes, working in pizzerias, learning the pizza styles, different traits, how to simplify but give it that wow on the perfections, the different styles, being creative. There's days where I'm sitting back, I don't have much time, start making a unique pie, a pizza calzone, or Pomero wrap, these different uniques and heritage, and just taking the time on my free time at home or so, studying what can I do to perfect the uniqueness of a different, something that wows people that they don't have. The forms, the shapes, star pies, stuff like that. Holidays, make a pumpkin pie shape, Christmas, do a Christmas tree, different styles. That's about it, Those are my passions and loves that, we want to succeed and make this business grow with family and friends.
And would you say that the values that you have in this restaurant and just in general reflect Italian values or Italian American heritage values?
Yes, because I remember being a little girl and just watching even my grandparents or my grandmother even cook in the restaurant. Everybody always chipped in together. It brought like the meeting of family together. Kind of like when you go to somebody's house and you cook together, especially in the Italian culture, not in every culture, but the Italian culture, and seeing just the beauty of the language and the beauty of family, which means the world, That's why she did it. She did it for family.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And can you guys tell me a little bit about your Italian background, what part of Italy that your family came from, and the story of your ancestors that made it to this country?
Well, my mother and father are from the Puglia section of Italy, from two little towns, but they're in the province of Foggia. They came to the United States. First, my mom came to the United States, and after my mom came here, she was here a few years. After she was here a few years, she went back and she married my father. My father then, in turn, came here to the United States after 3 years. And what's the most amazing part of that is that when my mother and father were coming to the United States, nothing was handed to them. They did this on their own. My mother used to pay the lawyer $20 and $25 a week so that my father could come here as soon as possible because everything was done by the book then. So my father came here. He came here as a horse trainer. That's how the trade that they made him come to the United States by. But after that, he worked in a very amazing place called Shering Plow for 40 years. He instilled the values of family to us, sacrifices. My father was the sole breadwinner, and we lived in a pretty prestigious area at the time, and we had the best of the best, and we were immigrants and proud of it. My father made wine, my mother made homemade sausage, they made tomatoes, and when there was time for the tomatoes, they did basically everything that they're accustomed to be passed on to us. When we were children, we were not allowed to speak English in our house. We had to speak Italian. We learned English when we went to school. And that is why we are so proud to be Italians. We're proud of their sacrifices. We're proud of that they left their homeland, come into a country they knew nothing about, and made it their home and made it the best that they could. And basically that influence has brought me to the point where I am in my life. They taught us family. They taught us sacrifices. Italians have different meanings to different people, but for us, Italian in here is home, family, and love, and that's plenty of love that we have.
That's amazing. I love hearing that. I think family is a value that I see come up when I talk to a lot of Italian American or Italian folks in general. It's something that we hold true to our culture, and we always try to pass on to the future generations, which I wanted to ask both of you as well. The way that you carry forth your culture and pass it on to the next generation, and why that's important.
Well, for me, it's very important because I never want my grandchildren to forget the sacrifices that my parents made for them to have the life they have, because it's like a slipping stone. It goes from one rock to another. And for that, I'm so grateful, because that love that was instilled in us is instilled in them. And I believe that they have learned from our sacrifices what the meaning of love is, and love is very important. And I know they say you can't live on love alone, but you can, and it definitely means that family values are a true tribute to the Italian heritage. We are all about family, love, and family. Don't mean we don't fight, we fight, but we love each other to the fullest, and that's the only way we know how to be. And I'm so happy that my grandchildren are learning the love the Italians have for their family, which is the most important thing that they have.
And speaking of the grandchildren, I wanted to have them answer a question. What their favorite part of the restaurant is.
My favorite part is pizza.
The pizza, yeah. And what about your sister?
The pizza too.
You guys are a home crowd here. The pizza, I love it. That's fantastic. And what about you, Mom?
I think my favorite part is us being together, because she worked a regular 9-to-5 job, which she used to, and which I also used to. We never used to see each other. It was always on the weekends, but believe it or not, we're here every day, and we're always together, which is awesome, because, you know, even my grandmother, we spent time with my grandmother. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, because we would have had her talk a little bit too, because she's a huge staple in here too, my grandmother Josephine, and she would have loved it. She loves the attention. So yeah, I think it's the feeling of togetherness, and it's so beautiful.
I think that's the best part about what we can offer in our culture is things like this, bringing back the Sunday dinners or being together as a family. Those things started to move forward in the generations and move away, whether it's people moving out of the old neighborhoods or just traditions being lost. So it's really amazing to see you guys keeping this up. And the last question that I'll ask is for you guys to give advice to any young Italian Americans or anyone in the Italian diaspora that wants to keep up their heritage in their business or in any project, and how they can do that.
Well, I think for any young Italian American that is going to do a business is to never forget those roots, to be involved as much as they can with any kind of Italian heritage clubs, people, whatever surroundings that they have to keep it going is what I would recommend them to do. And I know that as there's many organizations that they can join. I know they have NIAF as one of the organizations. I mean, there's countless organizations that they can be involved in. And I think that being involved and being with your own kind of keeps that tradition. It keeps you anointed in being who you are.
Vittoria, anything to add there?
I think for anyone to, first off, any Italian American that wants to start a business, hold on to your tradition, to where you come from, to your nonna, to your nonno, whether it be your mom and dad, always bring them with you. You know what I mean? Kind of thing, to have them at your side. I think the values and family values plays a major part in building a business, especially within the Italian community, because that means so much in general to Italians and Italian Americans as well.
I absolutely agree. And I wanted to thank you guys for having me in here to show your restaurant to the world. And you guys are obviously all over social media, and I'll make sure to include all of your social media handles and your website and things like that in the description. The food is wonderful, absolutely beautiful, and I love the traditions.
Made with love.
It absolutely is. I love the traditions that you keep alive here and instilling into the next generation. So thank you guys so much, and looking forward to having more meals here in the future.
Yes. Thank you for spending the day with us.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
These are our Sicilians. Right now, I'm doing the proofing process. Let the dough rise. A nice, thick, fluffy crust. Place it on top. Little olive oil. Give that a few hours. Comes to perfection. So now, once our Sicilian's fully proof, we lightly sauce the top, put it through, pre-bake it about halfway. Then we let it rest. on our screens so it doesn't fully cook through the tray. And when you get an order, we add more sauce or cheese and whatever toppings that a customer would like. Now this one has to rest. So what I'll do is I'll let it sit. Slowly let it rest to perfection.
I mean, when Joe talks about perfection, he's not kidding. Right here, he puts the cheese and the sauce on to put it back through for its second bake. And I mean, look at that thing. It just comes out spectacular. Just so, so beautiful. A beautiful Sicilian pizza, man. Nothing beats it. So you already know that I had to try that thing. And I know it's a lot of calories, but man, is it worth it? So I went in for my first bite. It already looks spectacular. It tastes just as great. So I had to go back for a second bite. Then I also tried the penne alla vodka at the restaurant, which also is just a classic Italian-American dish. Done really, really well. Then I moved on to the chicken marsala, which outside of the Sicilian pizza, I think was actually the favorite dish for me at the restaurant that I tried. Just absolutely perfect. The meat cooked really well. Pasta cooked perfectly. A lot of flavor. As you can see, I really was enjoying it. And then I moved on to the Pollo Arturo, which was a breaded chicken with cheese, asparagus, a couple other things, a side of rigatoni. Really good as well. Then I moved on to the calamari Bedda Mia, which was a pretty simple pasta dish with some grilled calamari on the side. I mean, you just can't go wrong with that. As you can see, I was also really enjoying this one. And then lastly, the Scarfo pizza. I mean, the pizza in this place, the dough is spectacular. So I really enjoyed all the dishes that I had. And I went back in for a second bite, of course.